Okay. We are live. We are live talking to the one and only. Look at man, this guy, he he put in so much work. He told me hold on real quick when we came on so he can go catch a punt. Can you show him the view where you at?
Yeah, home sweet home.
Home sweet home. He at Central Michigan. Getting it in. The work never stops. He still working out, putting in the work. When you go back?
Sunday.
Sunday?
Yep, Sunday evening. We start OTAs right back up Monday, so I'll be down there Sunday.
How long is OTAs? What, a week?
No, OTAs. I think we're gonna be with the team 4 days out the week. To give us I think like Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, maybe Thursday too. I think we might get Thursday as well.
Okay.
But that's gonna be going on up until late June.
Okay. No, that's straight. Yeah, pretty much what I wanted to and we'll talk to you about really is just man, you've had a path to say the least, going from, a ski town to Virginia Tech. If you are okay, I definitely would like to I guess ask a couple questions on that. But then going to, transferring to Central Michigan and then, Detroit Lions and now currently with the New York Giants. I want to start by asking you, hey, how has Hard Knocks changed your life? Not necessarily just from a football standpoint, but just even off the field, because I know just my colleagues and friends within the legal community, they was texting me, hitting me up talking about, hey, that's your guy from Muskegon out there. So, and again, and I'm pretty sure I'm one of many people in Muskegon who have kind of felt the love, whether we're in Michigan or elsewhere. Obviously, Hard Knocks is watched by people all over the country, people all over the world. So, and you were like featured on it. You weren't just had a clip here and there, but you were actually like featured on it. So how did that change your life? Like off the football field per se, with the whole Hard Knocks thing.
Well, firstly, I mean first let me thank you for having me on here, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Allow me to tell my story, and give people the insight of my journey.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for having me on here. But as far as Hard Knocks, man, a lot of football fans grew up watching it.
Yeah.
Not just football, but NFL fans, they grew up watching Hard Knocks. And when I found out that we was gonna be on Hard Knocks, that was a shocker to me. I didn't really expect to be featured on there like I was. But I would say it changed my life from the standpoint of like getting recognized. When I was out in the first week I was out in New York, man, I was exploring a little bit on my own. I had took the ferry across the water from Jersey to New York to Manhattan. And I'm getting off the ferry and somebody like, you was on Hard Knocks, right? Congrats on, making it with the Giants, with the whoop. So, from the standpoint of being recognized, my social media, a lot of people, I gained a lot of followers on social media through it. And I got a lot of messages, DMs from, people who watched Hard Knocks and telling me how much I inspired them, through my journey being on there. But it really gave me a broader vision on life in itself, on how quick, things can happen for you.
Yeah.
Because in a matter of just a few weeks, I was there and then I wasn't.
Right. Yeah.
So in that standpoint, just showing like just showing me how how quickly things can change, but also how quickly things can get set up for me as well, just from a standpoint of being on there, and being released, and then just a few days later being picked up by the Giants,
Right.
and them also showcasing that, broadcasting that on the show as well. So it was definitely a great experience. I enjoyed being on the show, and it's definitely allowed me to share my story and gain a fan base.
Sure. And how was that time in Detroit? Because you guys were in Detroit. You were still going out as it was still, as it was filming. So did people start to recognize you in Detroit? Like, hey man, such and such off Hard Knocks, or not really?
Not really. I mean, in that during that phase when Hard Knocks was going on, man, it
Yep.
was I wasn't really. I mean, I wasn't out in the streets like that. I wasn't my
Okay.
face wasn't really. I was pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah,
locked in on the game for real.
that's true.
And then once I was released, I was the next day I was heading back to Muskegon. So it wasn't really like I was just out there, as Hard Knocks was going on, and I was being out there, for my face to even be seen like that. But after the season, after the preseason, you got a little bit of you got some time to really sit back and get out there. That was when I was really recognized outside of the field.
Right. Okay. No, I got you. I got you. And I mean, how was it? Again, going through your first, no, preseason camp in the NFL. Hey, we all dreamt of, making to that level one day, and obviously, you are one of the few who made it, to the final destination. So, kind of going through it, I would imagine that, man, it was, it was like a surreal experience. And obviously, you trying to make the team, so you're not just sitting back, like, kind of maybe really thinking about it like that. But I guess when is it the first time that you kind of had a chance to kind of just sit back, like, man, I'm here. I'm in the NFL. Again, and it may have been short lived with what happened with Detroit, but even getting picked up in New York, was it in New York or was it maybe during your time with Detroit?
I can't. Man, believe it or not, I still can't pinpoint a moment where I was like, "Dang, I'm really in the NFL. Like I'm really out here with the top athletes in the world." It really still ain't.
Really?
It still ain't really hit me yet. I maybe because I mean is that I haven't really done much at the level yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely being out there with those guys every day. Just watching Saquon Barkley go to work, watching
yeah.
Darius Slayton go to work. And that's when I was with the Lions, watching DeAndre Swift go to work, catching passes from Jared Goff. Like it's all a dream come true. But I've yet to actually. I think I'd be so locked in the moment, man, and like ready for uh ready for the next play. That it's kind of even hard to sit back and really be like, man, I'm out here with
Yeah.
I'm out here with
That's
Jeff Okuda and
right.
Dory Jackson. Like
Yeah.
it's actually, and then to actually build a relationship with those guys, just how you do in high school, as you
Yeah.
do in college. It's kind of that you kind of once you build that relationship, it's kind of like, okay, they're still the top athletes, but it's like, okay, they put their pants on just like I put my
Yeah,
pants
for sure. For sure.
on, just like I tie my shoes.
And,
So it doesn't really add any yeah to it. Like I've yet to really 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 soak that in and be like, dang, I'm really here.
and it's interesting you say that. Man, I remember Ron, Ron Rodro, Ron, who, obviously from our hometown, when he was at Philly, and this one, Deshaun Jackson was, killing it in Philly, and it seems like he kind of he. I remember him talking about that, having that like little brother, big brother relationship with Deshaun Jackson, really taking him under his wing and just kind of making sure he kind of knew the ropes of the NFL. Has anyone kind of did that for you, whether it be in Detroit or New York, in terms of like, hey man, we're gonna kind of show you the ropes as far as being a professional athlete, and kind of, I'm not saying that man, you train like crazy. I already know now, but just in terms of how you train as an NFL player, maybe as compared to how you train as like a college player or a high school player. Has anybody done that for you?
Yeah, definitely. I can name one from each team specifically, just from a standpoint of position wise and just being, may have been like those underdog guys and happen to work to get to where they are
Yeah.
now. Khalif Raymond on the Lions, the
Okay.
slot receiver, punt returner, really took me under his wing while I was there, helping me get confidence in my route running, in the playbook, in my hands, especially back deep at punt return. Me and him being literally the exact same size, like exact same height, nearly the same weight. So he really took me under his wing while I was there, really guiding me, helping me during my time there. And as soon as I got to the Giants, man, I want to say me and Marcus Johnson, he got I think his rookie year, he was able to get himself a Super Bowl ring with the Philadelphia Eagles back in I don't know, about 18, 19, something like that,
Okay,
17.
okay.
Yeah,
They've been
whenever.
there for a couple years then in the NFL.
What, and they both of them, they both 6-year vets.
Okay.
So that's another thing, guys. I mean, they done seen just about everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marcus Johnson, he took me under his wing as soon as I got to the Giants. We both came in the same week, and ever since, man, he just sent me. He also do a little bit of music on the side. He sent me a few songs today. Told me, hey, what you think about these? Your
There you
honest.
go.
So yeah, man, I still connect with Khalif and I still connect with Marcus, and those guys have done I appreciate them for doing what they've done and taking me under their wing and showing me the ropes as a rookie. And it's crazy because a couple of the guys that have taken me under their wing, not other than them,
Yeah.
some of them didn't even realize that I was a rookie this year just based off of my work ethic and how I carry myself throughout and how I go about my business, about the plays, my body, how I train. And some guys are just like I'll say for example, Dory Jackson. He came up to me like, "Pimp, they just told me you a rookie. You a rookie?" I'm like,
For
"Yeah,
real?
it's my first year." He's like, "Man, I'd have never thought." So, and that in itself is a testament to the way that I go about it, but also the guys that took me under their wing, that allowed me
Right.
to follow in their footsteps and and learn from them.
So now I gotta ask you this. What made you, because you think about the Hard Knocks, and it was a similar thing in college where you have the rookies, they have to do something in front of the team. And normally, somebody is singing or something along those lines. What made you say I'm a juggle?
I'm good at it. I ain't really got no other talents besides balling. I can't sing. All my family can sing. I ain't got no vocal cords, man. I can't sing for nothing. Rap, I can't rap. So I just kind of thought, I mean, most guys go up there and sing. I thought I'd go up there and be different. I thought I'd go up there and show them a different type of talent. And at first they were like, "Boo, like, who just want to see somebody juggle?" But I ain't just
Step
know.
it up.
I just know straight up 3-ball juggler. I throw it between the legs, throw it behind the back, throw it up,
Yeah.
spin around, throw them all up in the air, catch them. So I thought that was pretty cool to show them guys instead of messing up on the song or something.
I was gonna say, man, you definitely stepped it up, because at first it was like, okay, what we going with here? Next day, you started, like you said, between the legs and all that. So that was pretty impressive.
The crazy thing is they ain't even let me finish. Once I dropped it that last time, they was clapping.
like
I'm
it's
like,
over.
cool, I ain't gotta do no more. That was it. It was impressive.
Real.
Yeah, I wasn't nowhere near done, man. I just got into my routine.
No, that's hilarious. So what's the expectations coming up this season then? I mean, again, second year, I'm pretty sure you're a lot more comfortable than you was the first go around. So I guess what's the expectations with New York this time around?
Expectations, man, just to go out there and grind every day, man, and just continue to put my best foot forward to give myself the best opportunity to make that 53-man roster, whether that be with the Giants or with one of the other 32 teams. But really just focus on myself, man. Getting that playbook. Make sure I'm staying consistent with my daily deposits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show them what I got.
And a lot of people don't understand. And obviously, you made the most out of it in Detroit, but man, whether it's OTAs, whether it's camp, preseason camp, man, you still put film or tape together for the other 31, 32 teams or whatever the case may be. So man, all of that is important.
Exactly. Yep.
So okay, so the transitioning, man, I see you a lot with the whole money ball. How did that partnership or how that relationship come about? Because a lot of people don't understand these days with the whole the NIL and this partnerships. Man, it's important. And I would even tell a story back. I was doing a intellectual property presentation last year, around the summertime, and it was some cats. It was like they was at Detroit Cats. This was at Wayne State, so it was from Detroit Cats Tech and summer program, and it was some cats who played football and basketball, and they kind of pulled me to the side afterwards. Them and their mentor, who was an adult, and they was like, "Oh man, you're an attorney and intellectual property, you do trademarks, you do all this different stuff," and they already was getting approached with like different NIL opportunities and whatnot, and this even in high school. So, and they trying to make sure they're going about the process the right way.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand, in terms of how you kind of carry yourself, how you present yourself out when you're in public, whether it's when now or as an adult or even back in high school. I mean, you out sagging and you out doing these different things, and that can really affect the bag, affect the money, because companies and potential sponsors or partners may kind of back away just because of that. So I guess, can you talk a little bit about that, but then also again talk about how your relationship with Moneyball came about?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, making sure that when they did reach out, if companies do start to reach out, making sure that your social media is clean. Like, you ain't got nothing, like anything you like on Twitter, they can go and see. Anybody can. Anything you like on Twitter, they can go to your likes and they can just scroll and see whatever you
Yeah.
like. One of my coaches here told me that. I remember I liked something years ago, and he sent the screenshot. It was like, is this really what you want, coaches or whoever it may be to see on your timeline? I'm like, ooh, I didn't even know that they could do that.
Right.
Did that to me. And then, making sure your Instagram is clean, making sure that what you posting on your stories, is who you is reflecting who you are as a person and your identity. So that when those partnerships do start to come in,
Yep.
that you making sure that you're able to withstand, withhold whatever is in the contract, and just reflecting who you are as a person yourself. Whatever you want people to see, on your social media, let that be shown. But make sure it's positive, and it's holding the right message.
Yep.
And being out in public, Japan, SAG, and all that. You do what you do, but you got to keep in mind that it's always somebody watching you.
Always somebody watching.
Especially when you on a pedestal, or like someone like me, who's an athlete, who's worn the big red jersey and the Chippewa jersey,
Yep.
Wholeheartedly, and people are watching.
Yep.
You got to make sure that when you out there, that you put, like I said, that you reflect, that whatever you're doing, you're reflecting who you want to be as a person. But as far as Moneyball, it was around the time when NIL deals really started. When everything started happening with NIL, a lot of people was getting NIL deals back then.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that they were a company who was doing their thing, who've been doing their thing for a very long time. And they was out looking for athletes. They was out looking for college athletes, because it was that time, for kids. For children, for kids in college to start making, a little bit of compensation off of their name, image, and likeness. Along with
So this started in college then?
It started in college, along with promoting whichever business was trying to partner with you. And Moneyball just so happened to be the first partnership, or the first business to reach out to me.
Yeah.
Black owned, right here in the state of Michigan. Dope clothes, and wonderful people all behind it. Like Des Ferguson is the CEO of Moneyball Sportswear. Built a great relationship with him, and yeah, man, he reached out through the DM on Instagram.
Yeah.
At the time, I was going through. I think this had been my senior year in college. So at the time, I was low key looking for an agent as well. And my current agent, Orlando Arnold, who I knew back then would most likely be my agent. We you can't, as a college athlete, you can't sign agents.
Yeah.
But with the NIL deals, you're allowed to sign NIL representatives.
Got you. I got you.
Agent, but NIL representative.
Yeah. It's not like for like the NFL or anything.
Nah, it's nothing like that. But so he represented me through all my NIL partnerships, and with the big name, with mainly Moneyball though. Took up they came to me with the contract. I let my agent my agent now read it. We went about that, and that's how it all started, man. They was just asking for a post a month. They was just asking for a post a month. They send me a few clothes and put it on.
That's straight. So where can they, I guess if they wanted to grab some gear from Moneyball, do you have the website that they can, you can shout them out really quickly.
Yeah, it's straight up just moneyballsportswear.com. Moneyballsportswear.com. You can follow them on Instagram, Moneyball Sportswear, Twitter, I am Moneyball, and Facebook, Moneyball Sportswear.
Okay, nice. Is it any other go ahead.
Moneyball is one word.
Okay, Moneyball, all one word. Okay, no, yeah, we gonna put that in the description as well. Is it any like if just anyone wanted to get in touch with you? Is it normally through a DM or through a PM or whatever the case may be, an email or whatnot?
Yeah,
that a company can get in touch with you from a partnership standpoint.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have my email out there as well, but mainly through they mainly companies reach out through Instagram. That's pretty much like that's the way to go nowadays. I'm not sure why, but that's just how it is now, man. A lot of companies they reach out through Instagram, and for the most part I would send them to my agent. At this, I don't really like making decisions on my own right now, because you got to be careful, get taken advantage of, all type of stuff. So you got to make sure that when you do when companies do reach out to you, that you're going through, with somebody who you can trust, and maybe somebody on the legal side of things, and maybe somebody on the financial side of things, to make sure that whatever you're getting yourself into, that everything will be taken care of, and that you're not, lowballing yourself or, getting yourself into some trouble.
No, and again, not only from that perspective, but just from a branding perspective. See, as an intellectual property for me, man, branding is everything. Whether it's patents, trademarks. Trademarks is normally the big one. From like say Marshawn Lynch with Beast Mode, that'll be a trademark. You think of McDonald's, you think of Apple. Man, that branding is important. Because we all are brands at this point. So you like we talked about earlier, when people look at you as far, do we want to do business with his brand, him and his brand? So when they look at you, they gonna think of what is his brand? Is it hard working? Is it doing things the right way, or is it trying to take shortcuts, whatever the case may be? So branding is a big part of it, and I always like to with people who kind of got logos or some type of company name that they are trying to really get behind from a branding standpoint. Man, that's big, because these brands or these trademarks that represent your brand, these things are worth a lot of money. I told a story where back in law school when I was taking a class, this guy had a farm, and somebody gave him this mark. He ended up getting a trademark on it, and a couple years later, somebody didn't even want the farm, but they just wanted the trademark from him, and they was willing to pay him $1 million just for the trademark. He didn't even he had like an emotional attachment to it, so he didn't take the $1 million. But that just goes to show you how valuable, like from a brand standpoint, like branding is with intellectual property and stuff like that. So, and me just being within that space as an IP attorney, I always try to kind of make sure people are going about things the right way as it relates to branding and protecting their intellectual property. So that stuff is important. Sure. So I guess kind of going back a little bit, and I'm not sure if you remember this conversation that you and I had. This was like you were still in high school when you were talking about like kind of going to Virginia Tech, and just what do you think about that school? So I guess starting out maybe from high school and then deciding to go to Virginia Tech, what was the decision to go there as opposed to some other schools that you had at the time?
Yeah, I just had this conversation with our athletic trainer Wes earlier, because he didn't even know that I had transferred from Virginia Tech.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, coming out of high school, I didn't have that many offers anyways. I had 2 Division I offers, and I had 2 Division II offers. My first offer in college was when I was in high school. My first offer was Ferris State.
Okay.
Right after Ferris, Davenport came. Right after Davenport, I believe it was Eastern. Virginia Tech came a little bit later, but no, actually, I want to say Virginia Tech and then Eastern.
Okay.
Right after Davenport, then it was Virginia Tech, and then it was Eastern. But this, man. Coming from Muskegon, man. Anything outside the ski.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything outside of the city, especially a team with great tradition, who just recently won the Atlantic Coastal Championship.
Yep.
Got a rich hit. I mean, they at the time they had the longest active streak of ball games, which was 2023 at the time. I want to say they went on. to end up getting 25 or 26 before they broke it. But as I was telling Wes, man, you go from Muskegon and you get to your official visit at Virginia Tech. You ain't never seen nothing like it.
At all.
You ain't never seen nothing like it, man. And to have my parents, right there along with me, who'd also never, experienced anything like that for themselves,
Yeah.
let alone their children.
Yeah.
And not having that many people, from our city, make it that far.
Yeah.
Not really having that enough knowledge at the time to know, what it is and what is not. But at the same time, regardless of the situation, regardless of what situation I'm in, I gotta make the best of wherever I end up. At the time, it seemed like the greatest decision for me. And at the end of the day, I still feel like it was.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm here today. But that's really what went to the decision making of that, man. Not really having the knowledge of, what it is and what it's not, as far as the school, coaching staff, my opportunity. But from coming from a small city, man, and then traveling so far away from the city, like, and then getting to experience what I experienced, it's like, why not come here?
Yeah, for sure. So you talk about just understanding or not knowing what it is and what it is not. At what point at Virginia Tech did you say, "Oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be"? Was it like a moment in time? Was it like a conversation?
Yeah.
At what point did you was like, "Oh, this ain't it. I got to get up out of here"?
Yeah, man. At this point, like, I done told this story a million times, man. I always thought, like, at some point in my life, like, it would come a point, like, where I would tell this story, and I'm open to telling this story now. But I've had plenty opportunity. I've had ample opportunity. People have came to me with interview opportunities just to tell my story of how my time ended at Virginia Tech. But I feel like this is a great time to do it, man. I feel like I was down there, doing my thing, just being a freshman though. I was down there working hard, like I always do. Just
if there's one thing consistent about you, you have worked hard, whether it was in high school, to college, to even to the pros. So again, going back to the brand, hey, that's your brand, working hard. If there's nothing else you're gonna do, you're gonna leave it all out there on the field
every day, man. And at the same time, I'm getting accustomed to becoming a wide receiver.
Yeah, because you were a quarterback in high school, yeah.
I was a quarterback in high school. Still getting accustomed to becoming a receiver.
Yep.
Learning. I want to learn. I want to learn. Yep. Regardless, but putting the ball stuff aside, I've never been really book smart. Get to college, and I'm still not as I'm not as
not your strong area. Your strong area.
Not my strong suit, but I'm trying.
Yeah.
At the time, they made it seem like your grades not that good, so we ain't really messing with you right now. But it ended up coming down to, I remember getting a call. I was chilling with my man. We were just kicking it right after class. We were just chilling. And I get a call from our one of our ladies in the department. Hey, coach wants to see you. I'm like, all right, cool. I go see coach.
One thing, none of it at this point.
Nah, none of it. I go see coach. And what's up, coach? He's like, yeah, man, you all right? How you ain't been yourself lately. And me personally, I'm thinking, like, I want to be out there playing. Like, it's guys out there playing, and I know I can compete with. And so that's why I was letting them know. I'm like, man, I just feel like I because I'm like real uppity, real smart, smile a lot, give a lot of energy. But at that time, I really wasn't, because I was really locked in. I'm like, man, I'm not on this field. Let me get on this field. I ain't trying to smile. Let me come out here and work. So I'm doing that. Man, so he calls me in, he asking me that. I'm like, man, I want to be out there playing. I just feel like I've worked hard enough, but I'm a freshman, and I understand that my time will come. I said, coach, but I'm not, I just want to work right now. I'm not really worried about playing.
Right.
Wish you out there playing, but I will wait my time. That's what we do as freshmen. You
Right.
know, the older guys, you know, whoever y'all trust to be out there, they can be out there. They should be out there.
Right.
So I wait my time. And I can remember this word for word. Well, you know what? No, you know what, Pimp? I just don't see you playing.
What?
I just don't see you
He
playing.
he said that to you as a freshman?
Yeah, I just don't see you playing at this level. And so I stopped. I'm like, at all, like, I got 4, 5 more years at this mug.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I just got here this year, and you don't see me playing at all. I just don't see it happening. Okay, so now what? So it's like, so now do I stay or do I leave? So it's like, yeah. We can help you. You know, we can help you wherever you want to go. I give you a full release because you know back then they wasn't giving full release.
Right.
Was they if they gave you a full release, they really was trying to get you up out of there.
Get you up. All right, for sure.
Exactly. So the reason they didn't get full releases back then was because if somebody was really that good, they didn't want you in a conference coming and whooping them.
Right.
So they ended up giving me a full release at the time. And why would I stay somewhere I'm not wanted? So that was when I started and back then it wasn't even called the transfer portal. You was just
that was a new. Yeah, this is a newer thing.
Transfer portal happened a year after, and so also the year I transferred, I had to sit out. The year after that, if you
can transfer and play,
you could transfer and play.
So I guess how did Central come about? Because again, you were saying that in high school you only have Virginia Tech and Eastern as far as your only 2 Division I offers, which looking back is crazy.
Yeah.
But how did Western come back? I don't know why I keep saying Western. How did Central come back into the picture at that point?
No, man. I mean, so once I got my release, man, I went crazy, man. I had typed up a little, I had typed up a piece, sent it to, I had a list of schools, sent it to all of them, just changed the school name, I'm such and such, and I sent them a little film that I had. I had a nice little clip that I put together.
This is from Virginia Tech or high school?
This is from Virginia Tech.
Okay.
I was just reaching out to schools that I felt like I fit the system, and maybe they could use somebody like me. Yeah. So I had a bunch of schools that I was reaching out to, and majority of the MAC schools reached back to me. They got back to me, and to be honest, I was sold on Eastern. I was sold on. I remember sitting in my bed. I was watching film. I'm watching a bunch of MAC schools. I'm watching Eastern. I'm watching Western. I'm watching Central. I remember, but Corey was at Central, so he was like, "Come on, bro, come on." I'm like, "All right, yeah." But I can remember taking a nap. I was sold on Eastern. I remember taking a nap. Boom, and I woke up on my nap. For some reason, some just told me Central, like Central Michigan, like Central Michigan. I said, "Dang, I want to go to Central." And I called Corey. I said, "Bro, I think I'm coming to Central, bro." He like, "Come on, bro, come on." A few days later, I told Bonamigo. Oh, and then Jeremy Hall, somebody else who was transferring at the time, he reached out to me like, "Hey, has Central reached out to you?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "Yeah, bro, I think I'm gonna come there." So I ended up messing with Central.
Man,
I had a couple of MAC schools though.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So then coming into Central, and out of curiosity, without naming the coach, have you talked to that coach since then at Virginia Tech? Or is it like no need at this point?
Actually, no, I haven't. He did reach out one time, and we had a lockdown here. I guess he must have found out that there was something going on here, and he reached out. It was just like, "Hey, you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm cool." But my receiver coach, on the other hand, we've spoken on a couple different occasions. He was a cool guy, Harmon Wiggins. That's my guy.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. No, that's crazy. I mean, it's a cutthroat ball game, man. You think they think it's only cutthroat in the NFL, but in college, man, you see that these guys aren't transferring. That's not nothing necessarily. It's, it can get kind of cutthroat in terms of what the coaches are telling these different kids and or the athletes. So man, it can definitely get cutthroat. So then coming into Central, I guess at what point do you think? Because we talked about how the transfer portal having to sit out that year. Do you think that benefited you being able to sit out, get your body right, get your mind right, work out, all that stuff? Or do you think it didn't matter whether or not you had to sit out or you could have played right away, you were still gonna ball out no matter what?
I'm a little bit of a tweener when it comes to that. I kind of feel like I really did want to be out there, but at the same time, man, that wasn't a good season.
Yeah.
They won one game.
Right.
And it was good. It was good to sit back and watch, but also get my body right, get a little bit more accustomed to the receiver position, and just sit back and learn my teammates and watching the guys who would be coming back next year, who would be my teammates for the upcoming season, watching them work and getting to see how they getting to see how their schedules are and who I can who I can help, who I don't have to be as, uh so who I don't have to give as much as my attention to.
Okay. I got you.
Because I'm a team player. I'm a team player first. I want to help all my guys win. If you need a couple releases, if you need me to do some running back stuff, if you need me to throw you the ball, whatever it is, I'm gonna be there for you. So just sitting back and being able to read all my teammates, man, and that was cool to sit back and watch them go to work, man. Even though it wasn't a great season,
Right.
the young guys was working, man. They was working, so it was. I'll say it was it was definitely a benefit.
Right.
Definitely.
No, that's what it sounds like. And again, a lot of players don't get that benefit, when they kind of transfer and then they come in right away and play. I guess sometimes it works out like that, but it seems like you get a lot of benefit by just kind of getting adjusted to campus and again, getting your mind right. Because there's a lot, man. When you done developed a bond with this core group or this group of guys at say Virginia Tech or at one college, and then next thing you know, you kind of transferring and you trying to kind of develop a whole new bond with a different set of people. And a lot of that stuff carry over to the football field in terms of, in your case, relationship with the quarterback and your other receiving core. Like, that matters. So to be able to just have to do that on 1 year and come in and play, I would imagine that can affect things in terms of the performance and stuff like that. But then I guess at Central, at what point during your time at Central, because again, you were the man at Central. It wasn't like you came in and you just kind of limped through it, or you played all right, but you was like killing at Central. So at what point mentally did you get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm the man here, or I'm one of the best not only at this school but in a conference?
Uh, I don't think I had that moment. Like
Really?
I think I kind of just did what I was destined to do. I never really even thought about it.
Wow.
Like, I always loved playing ball. Like
Right.
I've been doing that since the beginning. But I don't think I like I said, man. I think just staying humble and staying grounded and not trying to think about it, not trying to feel like I'm that man. Like, yeah, like, nah, just keep doing what you're doing.
Keep putting in the work.
It'll all work out. I don't think I guess if I was to give a moment, it'd just be Western. It'd be that Western game. But that's one game, and that was my senior year. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I really had that moment where I was just like, because at the same time, I always felt like Ja'Cory was better than me. So I always felt like yeah, I'm doing my thing too, but this dude over here, like y'all give him some attention. Like, this dude y'all need to be worried about.
Right.
So
Wolf was killing.
Right. But it was other guys in the conference as well where I'm like, ooh, he nice, but I don't think they better than me, but they working too. But I never really had that. I never really had that moment where I'm just like, killing them. I just kept.
I got you.
I just did what I felt like I was destined to do.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So, man, I was interviewing TJ Duckett probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and obviously, Big Duckett, man. He I was telling him I grew up, hey, back when he was in Atlanta with Michael Vick and Warwick Dunn, that three-headed monster.
Yeah.
That was my time coming up. I was in like high school, so I was actually watching those guys, and he was, he got drafted first round, like 16th pick or something like that to Atlanta, and he was saying how him personally, again, he was a highly touted guy coming out of Michigan State, All-American, but he was saying that if he didn't go in the first round, that he would have felt like a failure. So I guess what was the expectation? And obviously things kind of worked out the way they did now with, going to Detroit and then, or, getting a free agent pick up by Detroit and then ultimately with the Giants at this point. But I guess what was that expectation going into, I guess the draft? Was it just like, hey man, we going wherever I land, I'm gonna, make the most out of it? Did you have any expectations, just from talking to different teams that, okay, I feel really good about like this team really wanted me there? Or because a lot of people, I mean, me personally, I would almost rather go in free agency as opposed to a later pick because you can go to a team that kind of really wants you and that, the roster is made up such that you think you can you have an opportunity.
Right. Yeah, I guess that was kind of my thought process on it. I wasn't because I can remember going through it and having my sisters would be like oh, the draft coming up, like da 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 da. And me being me, I was like, yeah, but I would let them know like, y'all, like, we ain't banking on no draft. Like,
Right.
it's a lot of picks, but it's a lot of people in this draft. Whether we get drafted or we go undrafted, we grateful regardless of the outcome. I was never really, they toss your name around in rounds all the time, man. No matter who you are, they toss your name around in rounds. Unless you one of them guys, at them big name schools and you done killed them big schools. It's a chance that you may or may not.
Right.
I was, of course they were saying, late, 6th, 7th round. I wasn't listening to none of it. If I got picked up, I got picked up. If I got drafted, I got drafted. If I didn't, I didn't.
Right.
I wasn't really worried about the draft. I knew I just trusted in the Lord and believed that my opportunity would come.
Right.
So that's kind of how that went about.
No, that's straight right there. So, and again, and I want to be respectful of your time again, man. I definitely appreciate you doing this. Again, man, the big thing because that I know, and again, obviously my nephew Kobe and I try to tell him all the time, man. Hey, man, work in your 20s like crazy. Whatever it is that you do, you playing football, hey, do your, give your best at football. If you, doing the school thing, regardless whether or not you're a strong student or not, do your best at there. If you kind of work, whatever you're doing, do your best. I think the biggest investment, and you have shown this in your life, better than anybody, is the biggest investment that you can have is in yourself.
Yep.
When you invest in yourself, health wise, wealth, your mindset, the knowledge, all that stuff, everything comes that needs to come at that point. And obviously, you work in the way that you worked up until this point, and kind of again, I know you will say you have a long way to go, but you have had success and will continue to have success by investing in yourself. So that's something that's admirable. And I guess two things. The first is, what would you say? You've been doing a lot of, I've been seeing on social media, just kind of giving back, talking to different programs, schools throughout the state of Michigan. I guess what is the message for you in terms of when you kind of giving back and talking to different groups as far as investing in yourself, or the message that you're telling other, I guess, young kids as they're coming up in sports, or just young kids in general?
Man, my mind just went crazy. It's so much stuff, man, that so many things that you can do to invest in yourself. Me personally, at this very moment, I just picked up a couple books. I didn't know that I was a reader until I started reading.
Yeah.
Like, find things, first of all, that will allow you to grow, that'll help you grow.
Yep.
But that you also enjoy. Whether that may be going for a run. If you trying to get, if you want to get healthy, go for a walk, go for a run. If you want to expand your knowledge, pick up a book, read a couple articles.
Yep.
Whatever that may be, to invest in yourself, do that. And make sure that you firstly enjoy it, but that it is making progress towards the person that you want to be.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So then, I guess the second part of it before we wrap up here is, then the investing in yourself piece. I think that's a piece that people need to look at first because, for me, whether it was, football, whether it was engineering, whether it was law, whether it was real estate, just having that opportunity to continue to invest in myself, so that I can give myself the best chance, the best opportunity to start investing in other things. Assets is what I call them, whether it's a business or something like that. At this point, and again, I understand that it's different for athletes, especially as you're going through it, because you're locked in, you're focused on trying to make the most out of this opportunity and trying to kind of get everything you can get out of whatever it is that you're doing in your respective sport. But do you look at this point like other like investment avenues, whether it's a business or real estate or stocks or whatever the case may be, or is you just, "Hey, I'm gonna continue to invest in myself and just pour everything I got into, at least at this point in time, football?"
Definitely that part. I'm a little bit of both. I haven't, like I said, I'm not really, all I've known, man, growing up, like, I worked, like, at what I do, though. Like I said earlier, my school wasn't my strong suit. Business also isn't my strong suit.
Okay.
But networking, connecting, and talking to people,
Yeah.
very good at. I could do that. You put me in a room with some people, I'ma talk to them. I'ma get to know them. I can do that. And to an extent, I mean, first of all, I'ma say this: it's not always about what you know. It's about who you know.
Like it.
So from that standpoint, that's why I feel like to an extent, I feel like I've made the right strides to the person I want to be, just from the standpoint of being able to network with these people.
Okay.
But definitely, I definitely want to get into the other investment avenues. I'm starting to make those strides into stocks and real estate, business wise. But like I said, that's not necessarily my strong suit. But that's why I have people like you, who I connected with over the years and built the relationship with, to help me through that process. Tori, can you walk? My bad.
You cool. You said the lights went out, huh?
Yeah, we were there chilling. All right, but
No, yeah, and that's important. Man, just for me personally, again, anything that you want to know, especially, obviously, I like to kind of focus in what I'm knowledgeable about, and at this point, it's the real estate and the intellectual property. So anything like questions you already know is an open door as far as asking me those. But again, I mean that going back to the whole networking thing. I mean, I've told this story before as far as, and I was doing an intern at four motor company 10+ years ago, and as an engineering student. And man, I didn't have to do this, but I'm like, man, this is guy who he was like in-house at Ford, and he was an attorney, mechanical. We had a lot of similarities. Like he played ball at Wisconsin back in the day. I played ball at Michigan. So he was running back. I was a running back. He African American. I was African American. So I reached out to him and ended up chopping it up with him. Had a good conversation. And 10 years later, now this guy's the vice president of a multi-billion-dollar company, head of intellectual property. And he like, hey man, I want to work with you. And just like that, man, now at 32 years old, now I got a client that's a multi-billion-dollar client. So, and that's me. So I mean, but again, going back to the whole networking aspect of it, that's a big part of it, and just kind of surrounding yourself with people who making moves. And another one who I got to call once we get off this, he guy who I met at law school, he ended up transferring to Georgetown Law, which is the top 10 law firm in the country, and we got some big stuff coming out on the electric vehicle space that he ended up tapping in with me with, and giving me an opportunity to, because I'm learning a lot now as I'm talking to him, but he's a lot more knowledgeable in that space. But it's an amazing opportunity that this guy gave me, and yeah, we running with that. There's some big stuff coming out. But yeah, so I mean that's just networking with the right people and connecting those dots, and you never know, man, whether it's a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, somebody calling you up and just having an opportunity for you, or you may be reaching out to them and seeing where things make sense to kind of do something together. So man, that's important. A lot of people don't understand that though.
I definitely encourage a lot of the young bulls who in high school who gonna venture off into their schools and college. I encourage them all the time, man. Whatever classes you taking, man, listen to when y'all do them icebreakers in the beginning. Pay attention to what field this person going into and this person going into, and you might want to connect with that person.
Sure.
You might want to get to know that person because somewhere down the line, you might want to build a relationship with that person because somewhere down the line, they gonna see what you doing, you gonna see what they doing, and y'all might need to clash on some partnership.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
And just yep, and be intentional about it too. Because a lot of times, like you said, we trying to have fun all the time, and we're not necessarily thinking how this relationship gonna play out 5, 10 years from now. Is this person got good character? They more accomplished, straight, or is it off? And just pay attention to all those things and be intentional. And like you said, man, once that school stuff over with and you get out into the real world, I want to know the people who are gonna be the CEOs and the VPs of these different companies, these different investment firms, and the people who going somewhere in life, and I want to kind of connect with them and build that up with them. So now you're absolutely right with that.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely right. So no, yeah, I mean, I think I think that's gonna do it. Hey, I guess I know we talked about a lot, man, from the NIL stuff to the NFL stuff to the Hard Knocks, even back the college story, which was an exclusive, and I appreciate that. And I'll leave you with the last word. To break us out on.
So what's that?
I said, no, I'm saying, do you have anything to take us out on? A word of course, or
I'm like, shoot, what you got for me? Nah, I mean, again, my head just went all over the place, man. I got so much love I want to give out to the world, man. It's just every day that we go out, every day that we're blessed enough to that God allows us to wake up, that we're blessed enough to wake up and go out and venture out into the world. Like I mentioned earlier, just making sure that whatever we're doing as a people is a vote. Whatever we do, and every action we take is a vote for who the person that we ultimately want to be. Whether that be, like I mentioned earlier, if you aspire to be someone healthy, if that's waking up every morning and going and taking a walk, and gradually, going from a walk to a run, and gradually going from a run to going to the gym. If you aspire to be a cook, if that's waking up every morning and making breakfast, and gradually working to making breakfast and lunch, gradually working to making breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whatever it is, just making sure that we're casting votes for our identity and the person that we aspire to be when it's all said and done.
I like that, and I think that's a great way to take us out. So, yeah, I appreciate it, Kalil, and until next time, TI family, we out.
Good looking, brother.
Yes, sir.